Here's one for you. I was reflecting on a previous video that I made there the other day. I said in it that I had aspirations of becoming a YouTuber. And having reflected on it, I do and I don't. Would I like to have, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000, a million, 10 million? Fucking sure I would. Absolutely. I would absolutely love to have a massive YouTube channel. And I think, and what I've reflected on in relation to that is why. I've asked myself, I think it's important that we kind of quiz ourselves. So you want to be a footballer, do you? Why? With every subsequent answer, ask yourself why. So, yeah, I've aspirations of becoming a YouTuber. Why? And that kind of stumped me. When I said that, I was like, oh, fuck. And then I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, because I have something to say. That's why. And if you've got something to say, what's built into that is you want to say it to people. Because there's very little point or utility in having something to say and keeping it to your fucking self. Like, what's the point in having something to say if you're not going to share it with people? And maybe this is a bit of hubris on my part, a bit of arrogance, or maybe a bit of both, but I think not only that I have something to say, but I think it's worth saying, and in the same breath it's worth telling to people, and in the same breath it means that I think at least that it's worth other people hearing it. So that's another part of it. Having something to say is one thing, saying it is another thing, and thinking that people should listen is a further thing. And I think that I have enough to say about enough topics that are worth fucking listening to. And whether or not there's an appetite out there for people to fucking listen to what I have to say about whatever I have to say, that remains to be seen. But it's not just that I want to be a YouTuber. Because if I just wanted to be a YouTuber, if I just wanted a large following, I'd be doing videos about Elon Musk and Cardi B and whatever pop song was in the fucking charts. And I'd be doing reaction videos and all that kind of crack. Now, I wouldn't rule out a reaction video or doing a video on Cardi B or fucking Elon Musk or a pop song or all of the above. But I'll do videos on those things when I have something to say about those things. Not because saying things about those topics are kind of essentially guaranteed to get you likes and subscriptions and views. I mean, if I was purely out for the views, I'd be doing Minecraft and Pokemon videos with my 7-year-old son. I mean, I just casually recorded a video with him there the other day. It got 800 and something views. You know, fucking 8 times more than my channel's average. More, probably 10 times my channel's average. So that's an example in itself of how I'm being true to my word, and I'm not just doing YouTube videos and this whole off the lead thing exclusively for views, because there are better ways of going about it if that was the case. But what I'm striving to get to here is the importance of what you say being congruent with what you think and how you feel. Because on one hand I was saying I'm an aspiring YouTuber, but I think I can frame that better, way better, because it's not that I'm an aspiring YouTuber per se. I think it's more accurate maybe, and this is just coming to mind now, it's more accurate to say that I have aspirations of being a public speaker. And again, what's built in to being a public speaker is you having something to say and wanting people to hear it. And I've been saying for a long time, especially on the podcast, the audio only version of this, which has been running a lot longer than the videos, that each and every recording that I've made, and that includes the videos to a greater degree actually, is that it's practice. A practice for what? Just practice at becoming more articulate. When I was doing audio only, I had the luxury, provided I was in a quiet enough environment, I could hit pause on the recording, gather my thoughts, and hit record again and finish the recording. I don't have that luxury with video. I could pause it, and because my camera is set up relatively steadily, and because I'm not, moving all over the fucking place, I could pause it, and hit record again, and you mightn't see it jump that much. But the fucking road in front of you isn't going to be the road that was in front of you 2 seconds ago, and it'll be glaringly obvious. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers do that anyway, and it doesn't really fucking matter. But I've committed to not doing that, to getting out of the habit of hitting the pause on the recording, gathering my thoughts, and continuing the recording. And what that's made me do is become better at getting my point across in one fucking foul swoop. And like, what is it practice for? All these recordings that I've made, video and audio, what has it been recordings for? I still don't know, but here's one for you. I was chatting to my brother Aidan, who is, I'm not entirely sure what he does, to be honest. Sorry, Aidan. But he has a big wig job in a big secondary school over in Doha in the Middle East. I think he's off the tools. I don't think he's teaching anymore. I think he's a full-time head of a department, maybe. But anyway, he floated the idea to me of doing some sort of a collaboration between me and the students, the Leaving Cert students who are studying business. The idea being that he gives them a little bit of a blurb about who I am and what I do professionally. So I run a vertical farm, and I set it up all by myself, and it's my baby, and I'm an entrepreneur, and blah blah blah. And he gave them the back of the envelope version of what I've done, and they compiled a list of 32 questions, and I did a video reply to them, which is the previous video to this. So because I have essentially a background in talking to the camera at this stage, I was able to jot down the 32 questions, set up the camera on a tripod in my grow room, and address the group of students halfway across the world in relation to the questions they had asked specifically about my business. And it lasted, I don't know, I think it was 15 and a half minutes, and I hit record. Now, don't get me wrong, I fiddled around with the camera, the height and the bits and pieces, or the framing and where I stood and whatever else. I had a prop or two that I needed to have at hand. And so there was maybe 5 minutes of setup, but once I was set up, I hit record, I answered all the questions, and in one fell swoop, I recorded a fairly high quality 15 minute rapid fire answering questions video. And what's since come out of the wash there is it's been sent over. The kids have watched it over there. The teachers were very impressed with how it was put together and how it looked and how I conducted myself and all the rest of it. And the kids have more questions. So what it's looking like is going to happen now is I'm going to go over to Doha and give a talk in their big fuck off auditorium. And that wouldn't have happened had I not made all the videos and all the recordings that I have made. Fucking rumble strip, sorry. So when I set out on this off the lead journey, fucking 6 or 7 years ago nearly at this stage, I never envisaged speaking to a group of secondary school students in a big world-class auditorium in the Middle East. And who knows what could come from that? Maybe nothing. But who knows? You have to be fucking kind of in it to win it. And I suppose what all of this has me reflecting on now is not having a destination in mind. Like, I've never wanted to be a thing, really. Growing up, I was always torn with too many fucking options, basically. Not a bad complaint. And I still don't have a specific place in my future where I want to be. I don't want to be X, Y, or Z. I don't know what I want to be. But I am committed to developing myself further, becoming more articulate, involving myself in more loops, increasing the quantity and quality of my network, and essentially enjoying the moment and looking forward to where that takes me. Who knows where it'll fucking take me? But enjoying the process is a key part of it. And another key part of it is even if you don't, like I don't, have a destination in mind, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't and can't have a guiding star. So I suppose my guiding star is, as I outlined there a second ago, becoming more articulate, becoming more informed, becoming more resilient, becoming more competent, and just becoming a better version of myself, and taking on more and more responsibility, summiting more and more metaphorical mountains, and importantly, as best I can, enjoying the fucking ride. But one thing that I have to work on is my definition of what all that is, because having aspirations of becoming a YouTuber is better than nothing, but it's not nearly as honed in as it could be. And again, I don't want to limit myself to honing it into something too specific. I don't want to box myself in and corner myself in. I need, as if my life is a fucking motorway, I need there to be off ramps and plenty of them. So if I want to take a fucking detour and go down an airsoft rabbit hole, or a bouldering rabbit hole, or a YouTube rabbit hole, or a dancing rabbit hole, or an archery rabbit hole, or a martial arts rabbit hole, or an unknown rabbit hole, a hole that has no fucking signpost in the front of it telling you what it is, and just going in out of nosiness and figuring my way out in the fucking dark. That's what I need. But again, it's the point that I'm striving to make, and what's coming out of the wash in this video is, just because I don't know exactly where I'm going doesn't mean that I can't have a well-articulated elevator pitch for what it is that I'm trying to achieve. And that's what I'm going to have a ponder on between now and possibly the next video. If you enjoyed that, give it a like, maybe put in a comment, share with a friend, all that kind of stuff helps. And on that note, I'll chat to you soon.